Hi, so I thought I was going to make like a little update on the project pan for November. First of all, I just have to, of course, start by saying that November didn't go according to plan for anything. If you haven't been following me on my vlogs, then just a very short recap is that first week of November, Albert, my dog, he was hit by a car and had surgery on his spine to attach 3 vertebrae, and that same week I got COVID, and so did the rest of my family apart from mum, but she I think she has that now. So, and that noise, that is Elsa, she is scratching her ear and she finds it very comfortable. So anyway, so yeah, not a lot of painting. There has been a lot of other things, but I thought I was going to show anyway the stuff I have done. So I just wanted to see sort of how it was to work, sort of have like a default starting point. I also wanted to sort of catch up in this journal that I've had for quite some time and sort of filling in some blanks. So I also made a page in this journal to sort of document this, where I drew the supplies so we could sort of see how far we have come, I suppose. Yeah, let's start with the first art supply that I chose, and that was just a standard, whoops, that was a pen. The first supply that I picked was this Viking HB Pencil, and here you can see that I have used this much. Yeah, it's just a regular HB pencil. I have found this one very scratchy. Sometimes it works fine, very soft and smooth, and then other times it's very scratchy and very unpleasant to use. I also lost this for a few days, weeks. I've come to the conclusion I don't like it. So yeah. I also chose 2 Polychromos, and here you can see how big they were when I started, and here is how big they are right now, or maybe just a little bit under. So yeah, they are very, very tiny, and that is how far they got. And when they are at this length, when they're sharpened to the gold band, I pop them into this. So yeah. Then I picked the Zebra Vintage Brown, and I really enjoy writing with these pens, but it has not been a good pen for journaling. Like in this paper, the tip just can't handle the texture, I suppose. So I have used that quite a bit, but I do really like it. And what I have found with this is that even though it's not like water, what do you call it, like resistant, really, it handles water really well. And you can, if you do like this sort of in an art journal, you can actually go in and ink with this and get a really good result. It won't bleed that much. So yeah, I just really like the Zebra pens. I don't think I would choose this one. I think I would choose one that is easier to handle over the paper. So both of these, the Viking pen and this pen, is like the big thing is that they were a bit scratchy. The Polychromos, I don't have anything negative to say because I love Polychromos. So then I had this, is a water brush, and I filled it with Ferris Wheel Press ink in Cream of Earl, and I have a little bit left. A little bit. I have enjoyed this one a lot. I found it very easy just to, when you do some sketching with just a regular pencil, just going in with this to go in shading, adding a little bit of depth. So I really like, and I think this color is just perfect. It has that sort of light grey brown. So yeah, it's been really nice to work with, and I really enjoy it. Last but not least, obviously, it is a set of 6 handmade watercolors that I just happened to make myself. I know, right? I chose the Jane set because I just really enjoyed this set. I will have it back in the shop in January, so next shop update. I really like the colors here. I feel like they're very versatile and you get a really nice color palette when you work with them. So I had as a goal to finish the Knightley and Wentworth, and as you can see I still have paint left, but also, like I said, things didn't really go according to plan this month, but yeah, I think that because I've had the fact that I really want to use these colors, I have explored them a lot more, and I like this set even more now than I did before. And I love this set before, and I'm very, very proud of this set and the colors that I've made. So yeah, so I thought just as a last thing, I want to show a little bit of what I have done with them. And here you can see sort of the shimmer. So the first thing I did was this page where I just took a few landscapes, and I used the sepia Polychromos pencil, and then used the watercolors and the sort of ink pen to go in, and I just really like how loose they are. What landscapes for me is something I struggle with, is something I really want to improve on. So yeah, I am very, very happy with these. I love this page. Here I had a little bit more with patterns. So here I used the blue Polychromos for the berries, and I used the, what should we call it, the ink brush, I suppose, for some leaves, and then I used the zebra pencil for outlining and all of these browns. But I really like this. And here's another pattern that I did. So I went in with Knightley here, and then Wentworth as the leaves, and then I used the Cream of Earl ink to go around it, and I just really like how soft this looks. Here I did this for a video, so you can check that out. I just drew a few houses, Viking houses, long houses, and I used the supplies, but I also added in Daniel Smith Green Appetite Genuine, just to get some greens going on. And I mentioned that in a video about the houses, but I thought I was going to mention it again, that I think that that is a perfect sort of everyday green if you just want to add in greenery as in landscapes. I think it's amazing for that because it granulates so much, so you get some texture without having to mess too much with mixing the greens. The last page I sort of made a little bit of a self-portrait with the same materials, and I just played with some loose backgrounds, adding the Polychromos on top to create some texture, and then getting that ink outside of it. So when I had done that, I wanted to go back and sort of fill in some gaps. This journal is an Artisa watercolor journal, and I don't like it. I feel like I am comfortable enough to say that after the time I've spent in it. You have sort of a cold press looking page here, and then on the other side it's smooth. So what I have done in order to sort of get the most use of it is I have been jumping back and forth to get the texture I want. Can get decent watercolor effects on the texture side, but it is a paper that peels very easily. You can't erase without it peeling. It's just a very annoying paper. I'm sorry, but that's the way it is. Hi, Editing Julie over here, and I just wanted to try to articulate a little bit better what my point with the journal was. I really, really like the idea of these journals. They look amazing, they're really good price, good weight of the paper, but the quality of the paper is really bad. And when it comes to watercolor, everything comes down to the paper. I mean, as an accomplished and as an artist with a lot of routine, you can make a good piece of art on crappy paper. You can, but that takes years of practice and experience to know how to deal with it. I feel like the Artisa as a brand that have a sort of a target demographic of hobbyist or beginner artist, having this journal will just cause a lot of frustration because you will constantly fight with this paper, and that is what I feel like what I like about it as a concept, but I hate the product. Now, like I have said, I have a few more journals with the same paper. I will try to use it up because, you know, But what I want to warn you about is, because I know there is a lot of Artisa sponsored content on YouTube, or gifted content and that kind of stuff, and this is not that. This is my honest opinion about it. And I feel like when you have a journal, when you can't erase in it without the paper is peeling, where you have really good quality watercolor, I'm not talking about mine here, I'm talking about Daniel Smith's watercolors, just so have like a more unbiased example, that it bleeds. Daniel Smith watercolor, you can't say there is wrong on that watercolor. White Knight, Winsor Newton, Graham, they are top-notch watercolors. So I'm not going to use mine as an example, just to try to stay a bit, you know. But those colors bleed into the fibers, and that doesn't happen on good watercolor, on good watercolor paper. So you can't erase without destroying the paper. You can't go in with watercolor without destroying paper. You can't rub your fingers without getting the texture or the fibers up. So use it as much. I feel like gouache would be perfect for this, because you're laying it on top and you don't really rub the paper, or you're not as dependent on the quality of paper in gouache as you are in watercolor. So that is what I was trying to say. I don't recommend this journal. I love it. I love how it looks. I love the format, but the paper is bad. So, but I have tried the Artisa Expert watercolor pad, and that is their most expensive, but that is really good watercolor paper. I really enjoyed the pad that I tried out. Not sponsored, anything. I am way too small of a channel to get sponsored, but the Expert watercolor paper is good watercolor paper. And if you try out, I know that spending so much money on watercolor paper, I'm not going to say that anymore, is a big thing. But please, if you can, spend the money on the paper, because that's where you're going to learn, and that is where you're going to see what you can actually draw without fighting the paper. So I'm going to go back to editing. Here is first page that I filled in. I had painted this the 15th of January 2020. It is of Baby Albert, and I thought I was going to fill out this page 16th of November. So he's about a year and a bit here, and yeah, I just really like this page, and the nightly color was really good for his fur. So then I colored this page with the dimmer set, but I have gone over it with the ink pen and then the sepia color. And then on this page I wanted to try out another pattern with that Earl of Grey ink and then the sepia pen again. And yeah, I just really like stars. So I had some ideas about that. But I'm really happy. I had this outlined for a very long time, and it was one of the ideas for the dimmer set, so I'm really happy that I finally finished that page. This page, I don't think I will do anything more to it. I had stamped these swatching stamps, and what I've done is just going through and adding patterns whenever I could come up with a new one, and some of them I have used this ink for a background and then gone over with the blue Polychromos. Here I had a swatching page, and one day I just came across some images of these killer whales, so I added them in. Didn't spend too much time on sketching, which you definitely can tell. I just wanted to add in and play a little bit with color. There is a lot of dimmer stuff in this journal. Here I also filled in another page, so I made this picture of me and Albert 25th of April, and I thought, why not do one of how it is now? So I made this little picture a little bit more cartoony than the first one I did. So this is 18th of November, And like I said, Albert has had a spinal surgery, so there's been a lot of work taking care of him, which he's getting a lot better, by the way, but it was a lot carrying him in and out so he could do his business outside. And it was raining. He also had his whole back shaved because they had operated on him, so he had a cover, and it was November, so it was raining and dark. And yeah, this was pretty standard image. I mean, I still carry him, but right now it doesn't really rain, it's more snow, so it changed a bit, I suppose. But yeah, that is still pretty much every day. And here I decided not to add anything. I've made this sort of with paper piecing, and I just, yeah, I couldn't be bothered. I really don't like this flat pages. Here again is those flat pages. This page came like trimmed off, which was really weird. And here again, you can see how much color is transferring to the other page. So with this one, I didn't want anything to get messed up on this side, but I also didn't want to mess up this, so I'm just going to leave that blank. So that's a little bit worrying when you have so many pages that, and you can see on this one how much has been transferred from this page over to this one. That is, I think, pretty much it of what I have done. That was my project pan for November using art supplies. I had a really good time, though the few times I actually sat down to work. I found that I had more of a less thinking process. I felt like I didn't think about what I was going to do or what I was going to use. It was more, this is what I have, what can I do with it? And especially like the ink pen, that was very fun to have and play with. It is not something that I have as a normal supply. Also with the Jane color, I mean, because I've created them, I feel like I know them pretty well, but I had a lot of fun just exploring the different color combinations in the landscapes and the different patterns I was making. So that was really fun. I also found a few supplies that I don't like. But I mean, it's just a pencil. I have tons of other pencils, so that's not really a big thing. And I'll just use another brown ink pen when I want to do some outlining. I definitely want to do this again. I don't think I will do it in December because we are already a week in, but I'm thinking about doing it for January because I just had so much fun. I think that would be fun to do either like doing different art supplies with the same color or similar colors, or starting like with all new supplies, or I don't know. I really like this and I had a lot of fun, and I'm very happy with many things that I've done. So I felt like it was a success even though I didn't reach my goal, if you can call it that. If the goal was to use the colors up. I got a little bit hard to get my words in correctly because I'm so distracted by this cuteness. He's a little bit tired. Yeah. But yeah, I highly recommend this, and if you have done this, I would love to see what supplies you picked out, how much you used, what you created. If you have a video, please link it so I can watch it, because I just love this, and I think it would be fun to hear others what they think about it. And yeah, and I mean, there's nothing to say that you only need to use only these supplies, or you can only use them for November or only for a month. I mean, we make our own rules. So, but for me, I did it because I wanted to create more and spend more time in my journal, and I feel like I did because I had these supplies. And I mean, I have done other things this month or in November with different things too, because I got inspired to keep moving, and I feel like that is the most important thing. So okay, I feel like I'm starting to ramble. But yeah, I hope you have liked this video or this little series. I have enjoyed it a lot, and I will look forward to January, put together like a little project pan kit for January. I think that will be really fun. Check out the vlogs if you want to see how it is here in the daily life when we make handmade watercolors and painting and we snuggle a bit. Wow, the momentum just like that dropped. Okay, thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked it. If you did, please leave it a like, subscribe if you want to see more videos, and I hope to see you soon. And now I got Albert's not all over my face.